Afternoon, and welcome to the LocknCharge webinar, Managing Mobile Devices While Socially Distancing. We are excited to virtually host you all. We know the current circumstances are challenging right now for everyone, students, teachers, tech teams, and administrators. Everyone is navigating uncharted territory and wrapping up the school year while trying to maintain a sense of normalcy for the students, which is why we wanted to host this short and sweet webinar. We wanted to share with you how LocknCharge can help you as you be prepared as you prep and plan this summer and for the new school year. So first piece of good news, LocknCharge is open for business. We come from you live from our demo room and home offices to share with you some valuable information, but let's keep it fun and casual. Our team is working remotely for the most part, but creatively to deliver charging solutions to school districts across the country during these challenging times. We know planning and collaborating is hard to navigate right now, but we continue to support our customers. Now, before I pass it over to our speakers, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items so you know how to participate in today's event. Everyone's lines have been muted to eliminate any background noise. You will have the opportunity to submit questions to the speakers by typing them into the chat pod during the presentation. Just click on the chat bubble icon at the bottom of your screen to open it. You may send in your questions at any time during the webinar, and we will address them during the Q&A session at the end. A recording of today's presentation will be sent out after the webinar, and we encourage you to share it with your interested colleagues who could not attend. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speakers. Courtney White is a Customer Success Manager here at LocknCharge and a former teacher in Northside School District in San Antonio, among others. AJ Lamb is also on the line. He is our Technical Sales Engineer here at LocknCharge and the father of high school twins in Madison, Wisconsin. Courtney, please take it away.
Thanks so much, Natalie. Hey, everybody. As Natalie said, I'm part of our customer success management team. And what we do is we work with districts and schools to figure out what is the best solution for them. So as we're going through, if you guys have additional questions, we can certainly hook you up with the person that is assigned to your area. We love to talk to people. Most of us are working from home, coming into the office every once in a while to do demos and show people product, which is great. But please give us a call. I mean, my dog is great and all, but she's not real good at the conversation. So we are here today to talk about the FUYL Towers, which I have behind me. They come in a 5 and a 15 bay capacity, and we'll get into a little bit more detail about the features towards the end of the presentation. The great thing about the FUYL Towers is that it's compatible with most of your devices. So it could be iPads, laptops, Chromebooks, and like I said, we'll show you guys kind of inside the tower towards the end so you can see what the physical part of it looks like. They are both RFID and keypad accessible, so it can function with both ways on the front of the tower. We also, very exciting, just launched a cloud-based portal so that you can manage your towers from the back end and access all of your towers with one login. So the setup for these is super easy. Find an accessible location that is out of the elements. Obviously, we want it protected from rain and debris and that type of thing. Plug it into a traditional normal outlet and then load it with stocked and ready to go devices that you've sanitized and had ready to go for your teachers and your students. We have an easy setup guide, so you will plug into the tower and get it connected to your school's network, either via hardwired Ethernet cable or on the Wi-Fi. Many functions on the towers can actually be accessed directly here from the front of the tower, unlocking doors, getting the IP addresses, all of the different functions that an admin would need to access in the tower. So we're going to talk about a couple of different workflows that the FUYL Towers are good to accommodate. The first one is in our public mode. So this is basically public charging. There's no subscription needed for this. So you just have it for kids to walk up, kind of like a hotel safe, and they can pair it with an RFID badge. So maybe their student IDs, or they can choose a particular 4-digit PIN and charge their devices in there. Come back, when they re-enter that PIN, it's going to clear from the tower, and then it's ready for the next user to access that bay. This is a great way for you guys to think about as you're renovating schools and people are going away from that traditional locker style system. These are great to have around campus for students to be able to charge their school devices, have a secure location for phones during maybe gym or during lunchtime. So there's lots of features that would work for. It also helps to kind of overcome some of those home security issues. So if a kid is having trouble, or they're in an unsafe place, then this provides them a place to secure their school device, so we don't have that going missing. Sorry, I'm fumbling on my words today. The second mode that we have is managed mode. So like I said, we just launched this cloud platform, and there are 3 different levels that you guys can sign up for. We'll go into a little bit of detail today, but want you to know that that's why our customer success team is here, in case we need to have more individualized conversations to figure out what is the best tier for you. So in the first 2 levels, admin and managed mode, you can access the towers, unlock bays when people forget their code, or if students need to go through for different purposes. And we also have up to an integrated level as well that allows accessibility to an open API, where you can have it communicate with maybe your existing help desk software and add in webhooks if that's a need that you might have. So a couple situations that the managed mode is useful for. The first one is deployment and retrieval, especially as we've been going through this pandemic that nobody expected. This would allow for no face-to-face deployment of devices. So you can assign bays to students and their parents to come and pick up a sanitized device ready to go for distance learning, and your tech team does not have to interact with them. And then it's going to log who has that device, and you'll be able to track them. So you could have different towers throughout for that purpose. And then the same thing, as you guys are coming into that summer break and you're needing to retrieve devices, students can bring those to you, put them in the bay, secure it, and then the tech team can go retrieve them all at one time. We actually have a school district here in Texas that is using it for that purpose. They just purchased 86 towers in Friendship ISD, so that we have those ready for check-in and check-out. Another thing to think about is for a break-fix loaner program. So let's say students in the middle of class and their device breaks or it's not functioning properly. So the teacher can help them send in a ticket to the tech team, and the tech team will let them know, okay, go to the tower in the tower locker number 4. Your code is going to be whatever that 4-digit code is. The kid can grab their device out, put their broken device in, and then re-secure the locker. And then on the reverse side of that, once their device is fixed, the tech team can send them an email and say, okay, go to the tower, locker number 2, here's the PIN code, put that loaner back in, grab your device, and go back to class. So the time away from class or without a working device is completely minimized. We also have some schools that are looking at it for just a loaner program. If they don't want to have every student with a particular device, or maybe it's a specialized class and the kids just need to check out those for different purposes, or for substitutes. We've got a school district in North Carolina right now looking to put a 5-bay on each of their campuses. So when the substitute gets their welcome letter, it says, your assignment is locker number 3, here's your PIN code. And then they have a secure location that they can use throughout the day for their phone or their wallet, keys, whatever it is, and can still function as a normal teacher could by taking attendance, accessing their textbooks, and presenting those lessons that teachers have put together for them to do. So that could be a huge, huge thing, especially as, we're facilitating this distance learning. We're going to need to loan out those devices. So back to the cloud subscriptions, we've just released it, June 1st, and there's 3 different levels on there. So there's admin, managed, and integrated. As I said, if you purchase the tower for public mode, there's no subscription needed. Your purchase of the tower will function, but then there's no backend software that goes along with that. On the cloud subscriptions, you can purchase in a 1 or a 3-year plan. And each tier, like I mentioned before, allows different capabilities for you to fit your workflow. So that's our very quick, brief overview of the FUYL Tower. Beyond the FUYL Tower, of course, many of you are familiar with our LocknCharge brand. I'm going to flip you guys around here for a second and show you our demo room. So we have several different things that you guys, again, can talk to those customer success managers about. We've got our Revolution 32 cabinet, our Sphero charging cases, which hold 6. I know when I was in the classroom, I was trying to find places to stick all my Spheros so they didn't roll all over the classroom. And then we've got our Joey carts, the carriers. Oh, don't forget, we have unicorns because we have a magical lifetime warranty. So don't forget about that. Once you make your purchase, we're going to do our best to take care of you as part of our LocknCharge family. And then we've got our carrier wall stations. These are great because they come with the baskets, allowing you to deploy 5 devices at a time, and racks. The Putnam 18, more of your cabinet style that works great with your Chromebooks. And then our carry-ons that allow you to charge your tablets. So that's about all I have for you. I'm going to turn it over to Natalie and AJ. So again, as part of the customer success team, we would love to talk to you guys and figure out what is the best solution for you guys to fit your workflow. Lifetime warranty on all of our products, including the electrical components. We have a great customer support team that you guys can work with on the back end. And, you know, part of the things that we love about our solutions is that they are agnostic, future-proof, with an open box concept in our carts. You can store VR headsets, Sphero robots, your different mobile STEM lab type things. So, you know, we've got a lot of different ways to help you in your workflow. So I'm going to turn it over to Natalie and AJ again, and we're going to get a little bit more inside of the tower so that you guys can see that. And AJ will be walking you guys through as I'm playing Vanna. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney. As Courtney may have mentioned, each of you has a LocknCharge customer success manager to discuss your district-specific needs and purchase timelines. So we can certainly offer you virtual meetings and video demos with your whole team to make remote planning easy. So as we also may have mentioned, our warehouse is stocked and ready to ship as you decide the best way to spend your end of year budget, and also things preparing for the next school year, next fiscal year. So now that we've gone through our FUYL Tower and our FUYL Cloud platform and some of our other LocknCharge solutions, I'm going to have AJ here, who's on the line, review our subscription options one more time just to go through the different features that are available, so you can understand what workflows will be available depending on which subscription model you choose, and then also address any questions in the chat pod. So AJ, I'm just going to share my screen here real quick for you. Pull up this subscription model.
Okay, this is AJ. So as we talked about, I'll go through the subscriptions real quick and kind of give you an idea of what subscription might be right for what. And then after that, I will totally be available for any questions. I had one question already and kicked out a quick answer to that, but we can go through that too. So basically there's 4 tiers of subscription. There's no subscription, which is you buy the hardware and you get a tower, and the tower will function in public mode. It does have administration on the tower itself using the keypad and the LCD display. If you choose to upgrade to the cloud admin, then that gives you the same feature set as far as the tower goes, but it also lets you look at and all your tower. You can look at all of your public mode towers in one console using our cloud software. And then you can also do things like you get your over-the-air updates, of course, for any new software. You get the log files, so you know when doors are open and closed. And then there's also what we call bulk operations, which just simply means that every tower you add to an account, you don't have to set up that tower if you just want it to function the same way as all the other towers. You just add them to the account level, and they automatically assume all the settings that are assigned to the account. Finally, as it says, most popular is the cloud managed, and that gets you the ability to use the public mode just like the other two tiers do. And of course, PIN and RFID is standard on all of our towers. Go down through all the options that already are in the cloud admin, but then you can also toggle it into what we call a managed mode. The difference between managed mode and public mode is managed simply means an administrator is giving access to the bays of the towers by assigning those to individuals. So the tower itself has a database of users on it, and the database of users can then be assigned to everything from an account level to a tower level to a bay level. So you can do things like assign a user at the account level that can actually open any bay on any tower that you own. You can assign a user to a tower that could then open any bay on that specific tower, or you could assign a user to a bay that can only open a specific bay. So it's kind of handy that way. So it supports a lot of different workflows then, the check-in, check-out, break fix, and things like that. With that, it looks like that's where you also start to pick up things like being able to curfew lockers. So the curfew is a thing where you have pretty much unlimited levels of curfew. So if you wanted the tower to not be functional until 7 a.m., work throughout the day, but then at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m., you want the tower not to be able to be used by individuals again, you could set a curfew for the rest of the day if you wanted to. So you can do that per day, per tower, that type of thing. And or you can set up a curfew for the entire account, so it would then control all the towers. And finally, the only other tier that we have, which is called our cloud integrated, gives you all the functions of the cloud managed, but then it also adds a full open API as well as webhooks that would allow you to integrate the towers directly into your help desk system with things that could, for instance, take a bay offline, open a bay remotely, be able to, when a door is opened, it could send out what we refer to as a webhook in programming language that could then tell an external system that, hey, a door just opened, now do something. So it can actually help you integrate then.
Awesome. Thanks, AJ. So I'm going to just look over here real quick to see if there's any chat questions that came through in the chat pod. Oh, sorry, but guys, that's my dog. She just wanted to say hello there.
Hi, Bella.
So the one question, it looks like AJ addressed it, but I just want to read it for everyone so they understand that what type of power is supplied. And it's a 120 VAC and 5-volt USB plug in each bay. So in theory, in a LocknCharge, in a FUYL 15, you could actually charge 30 devices at once. And correct me if I'm wrong, Courtney, but that allows you to put 2 devices in each bay.
Exactly. And so I'm getting in a little bit closer so you guys can see inside of the bay and trying to block the blinding light over here. But there's enough space in here where you could potentially put a laptop and your phone. And again, that USB port, and then an electrical outlet in each of the bays. And then there is a light that allows people to be able to see inside of there. One thing while we're up close to the lockers right now, you see that there's two different colors. I just saw a question pop up, so we'll definitely address that in a second. So right now, this essentially says this locker is not secure. Don't walk away. Stop. And once I push that closed, then it'll turn to green to know it's secure. Like we mentioned before, it can function with most RFID badges. I've got that paired right now to my locker number 5. So that'll pop open. Or you can access each bay with a PIN that is set. So that's great. This one is in admin mode right now. And then this one we have is in our public mode. So I set the pins on this one, and to access that locker. So now I can grab my device out, and that's cleared from the system. And all you have to do to pair a new code would be to select that locker, put in a unique PIN. Sorry, my fingers went too fast. And then you re-enter the PIN, and it's giving you some time to count down and secure that to charge your devices. Now, I saw one of those questions pop up. What did we have on there?
Yeah, sure. So it looks like there's 2. It says, I see a lot of data cables at the top. Is that 1 data jack per bay or 1 data jack for the tower?
So this is the networking kit that comes optional with it, and you would provide your own switch. And then I'm actually going to access in the door here so you can see what the kit looks like. So you'll get cables that are pre-cut to each of the bays. And the nice thing on this, let's say the power goes down and you need to access your lockers, you actually have a manual button on the back side here that you can push and open up those lockers to retrieve whatever's in there.
Perfect. So the second question is, can the PIN numbers be changed? I can see students walking up and just trying numbers until they get a free device. Great question.
That is a great question. AJ, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure, they can. So with the cloud software, actually what we do is there's 2 different workflows. So you can either have the public charging mode where the user or the student would assign their own PIN to a door, and that's really just used to like a hotel safe for charging a device. In managed mode, the PIN number can be 4 to 8 digits long, and that's actually assigned by the admin. There's a chance that somebody could guess the PIN numbers, I suppose. It would be pretty hard to do, but in many of our schools, what they're doing is using their lunch code or something like that. So that can be done. But yes, all the PIN codes can be changed remotely and can be randomized per student also. And they do have to be unique. You can't have duplicate PINs in one account.
Awesome. Thanks, AJ. I don't see any other questions that have popped up, but I did want to review a few that I know our sales team comes across a lot that I think would be good to cover here while we've got everyone. So the first question that I know, Courtney, you definitely have had this one come across your plate before. Is there a way to secure the charging cables so they don't disappear when students take the devices out of the bays?
That is definitely a question we get often. So what we have suggested to people is that you can actually, if you see in the back, we've got holes for ventilation, and you can zip tie your cables inside of there, which seems to help with those walking away, which happens a lot in schools, right? We borrow cables all the time.
Awesome. Thanks, Courtney. Another good question that I think would be worth covering is, can the API function with our existing help desk software? So that may be something AJ or Courtney can take.
I can take that one. So basically the API can function with just about any software that has its own API capabilities. So if your software can reach out to external systems, it most likely could be integrated with our open API on our towers.
Awesome. Cool. So final question I just wanted to cover one more time is, how do users access each of their towers and manage and track them? So I think this is a good way to wrap everything up, is just to review how users are able to track and manage all of their towers.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. So basically with the launch of our cloud software, you can have an unlimited number of towers in your account. And every door open, door close, access to a bay, anything like that is tracked throughout the log file in the tower, and it's tracked, or sorry, in the cloud. And that's tracked which tower it is, which bay they opened, who it was, time, date, all that kind of stuff. So it's all there.
Great. Well, unless anyone has any other questions, we can probably give you a few minutes back in your day. So thank you, Courtney and AJ, and thank you for everyone for attending today's webinar. You will receive a follow-up email with a link to view the recording of today's session and info on how to contact our team. This was just a high-level overview of the FUYL Tower, LocknCharge Cloud, and our other charging solutions. So we could spend hours talking about all of our great products, but we really encourage you to reach out to our team of customer success managers who can speak with you about specific needs for your district, discuss pricing, answer questions about your deployments, etc. So thank you again.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.